Hello my YouTube friends and welcome to Vintage Birdhouse Cookie. Start by using a small cap and tracing it with a non-toxic 4H pencil. Now pipe over the line with stiff consistency icing and a number 1 nozzle. Using a ruler and the same pencil, draw a line on the bottom portion of the birdhouse. Now draw a line on the top portion of the birdhouse. Using medium icing in a tipless bag, apply icing in between the 2 lines that are drawn and around the circle. As you can see, we're not going for neatness here. Grab a dampened fan brush and start brushing the icing, either up or down, but keeping it in the same direction, the direction of form of the birdhouse. Once the icing is brushed in place, use a boo-boo stick, the flat edge, to make the planks. Reverse and use the pointy side to create the irregularities that would be in the wood, some circles and some squiggly lines. Now begin cleaning up the inside of the circle. Use the flat side to pick up some of that icing. Switching tips to a number 2 and still using stiff consistency icing, begin brush embroidering around the circle. Once you're finished, use a scribe tool to clean up inside the circle so that we're even. A brush embroidery goes around that circle evenly on the inside. Now use that scribed line as a guide to pipe some more brush embroidery directly underneath the brush embroidery we've already piped. Using your tipless bag and medium icing, pipe inside that circle that we just brush embroidered. Make sure not to go over the brush embroidery. We just want to connect to it. Use your scribe tool to even up the icing so that it comes right up alongside the brush embroidery. Going back to the stiff icing with the number 2 nozzle, pipe S scrolls along the bottom portion of the icing on the birdhouse. Pipe another S scroll on the very bottom of the cookie, following the line of the birdhouse. Repeat the same pattern on the top of the birdhouse, directly on top of the icing. Now pipe a bow on the very top of the birdhouse with 2 loops. Switching nozzles to a leaf nozzle, pipe out the tails to the bow. Recipe supplies and tools will be listed in the description box below. Now let's dry dust the birdhouse. Using a flat brush and milk chocolate by Rainbow Dust, start dusting inside the planks. Clean off your brush and bring the dust out towards the icing. Be sure to get inside those little squiggly lines and circles. Now we need to paint the rest of the birdhouse. Using Ivory food gel paste and a flat brush, begin painting the bow, the tails to the bow, the circle inside the brush embroidery, and the S scrolls, all with the Ivory paint. Well, not really paint, food paste. Now the birdhouse we need to add some depth. So using brown food paste, brush a little bit on the S scrolls and scrub it in. We don't want it to look brown, we just want it to look antiqued. We're going to do the same thing to all 3 sets of S scrolls inside the circle, the brush embroidery, the bow, and the tails. Be mindful to only use a little amount of that brown. Using the icing, attach some royal icing birds to the top of the birdhouse. And on the bottom left corner, pipe out 2 leaves with stiff consistency icing in a tipless bag, and attach 3 roses. Pipe a few more leaves inside those roses just to give it a little bit of volume and oomph. Once the roses are dry and attached well, begin painting them with the ivory paste. Do the same thing for the birds and the leaves. Using a 3-0 brush and the brown food gel paste, paint a little rose in the center. Now paint 3 leaves to accompany your rose. Using brown food paste, begin adding depth and tone to the roses, the leaves, and the birds. Again, try not to turn those roses brown. We just want to antique the color and add a little bit of depth. Thank you everyone for watching. And don't miss my newest class that I added, Foraging for Mushrooms, in my online workshops at Shop 5th Avenue Cakes.